Like many of us, I have been reflecting on our experience of lockdown, and I have been wondering what I should say to you today. I decided to show you what we've been up to these last few weeks. Some of you may relate a wee bit to some of our experiences. Lockdown began, and to be honest, it was a wee bit exciting. School was cancelled, we went home together. Mrs. Rooney's School for Girls started with exercises and work in the kitchen. I started washing my shopping. And then we had days when we really couldn't be bothered, when all we wanted to do was cuddle up in a box or under the stairs, usually playing Minecraft. We did church in our living room and had Sunday school lessons at home, drawing pictures to put in the window. I relearnt to scoot. And our art lessons were held in the garden. We baked together and we ate birthday cake for breakfast. We played in the garden and we had family nights watching Britain's Got Talent. We learned some new skills. We got face masks and we went out for walks. We enjoyed the beautiful countryside near to our home. We took part in Heart and Soul from our living room and we counted our blessings. What have you? Stop bouncing just now. Is there anything you've enjoyed about lockdown?
Playing football, playing with my unicorns, and playing outside.
Anything you really missed and can't wait to get back to doing?
Seeing my friends, seeing Grandma and Papa, and wearing school uniform.
Okay, thank you.
Playing in the tree house, playing games about bunnies, and playing games about bunnies.
Is there anything you've missed during the lockdown?
Sand Ponza.
So Clara, what have you enjoyed about lockdown?
Watching Mallory Towers and playing more.
What have you missed?
Playing with my friends. Church, going to church, and going to like cinemas and stuff, and parties, apart from The Sims.
What can you not wait to do when we go back?
See everyone that I haven't seen in ages. Go to church.
What would you like us to keep doing?
Making cakes and stuff.
During this whole time, we've waited and waited, listening to the government for the next steps, and we still wait. Waiting is particularly relevant this week as we wait for the Pentecost, for the coming of the Holy Spirit this Sunday. So as we wait for God, I find myself wondering, what should we be doing? I went to a seminar yesterday run by Glasgow University on theological reflection during pandemic. One of the themes that rose out of this really interesting couple of hours was about viewing this time in our lives as a Sabbath, as a time to be with God, not only to be with Him for rest and for refreshment, but also as a time where we can develop habits that recognise Him in our lives and help us to learn better to discern Him. As we know and have heard often, God is still here. He has not left us. Maybe now in this enforced quiet and reduced activity, we relearn to listen for Him, to what He is saying to us. God knows that we need a break, and so from the very start of history, the pattern of Sabbath rest has been woven into the lives of His people. Jesus also affirms this way of living and lived His life out following the pattern that God established. At the Bible study group this past week, we were talking about the first chapter in the Gospel of Mark, and we were reflecting on the way that even from the very start of his ministry, Jesus took time to leave behind the busyness of the world and to spend time with his Father, to fast and to pray. The Jewish nation kept the Sabbath partly as a way to show that they were God's people, that they had a relationship with God. And as followers of Jesus, we too are invited to partake in the Sabbath. And we're invited to see this through the light of Jesus, as a gift from God, a time and a space to stop, to rest, to recover and to receive from him. I have said this before in a previous sermon at St Kentigern's about the busyness of all our lives and the constant 24/7 nature of the world. We can be, usually are, busy people with much to do and much to say. For me, and maybe for some of you, one of the great joys of this time has not been enforced to do anything, not having anywhere to go. I have enjoyed not having to take the kids to clubs, and I have not missed many of the meetings that I would normally attend. I know for many people there have been many disappointments, stresses, missed opportunities, loss of income, health, and unfortunately lives. There has been a great deal of challenge and adversity. And I'll be honest and say there has been much in the way of frustration, challenge, and loneliness here too. It's not all been fun and games. But there has also been silence, and family walks, and time together, space to think, and rest, and read, space to grow, to wonder, to develop new friendships in different ways, online and over the phone. I don't say all this to encourage us to ignore the challenges or to downplay the losses. They're real, and we need to think about them too. But I do want to encourage us to see good in these days where we can. In this time of reduced activity, we've heard it affirmed over and over that the church is not closed. We are deployed. The church is still open for business, and all this is true. This doesn't mean that we don't deeply miss being together, worshipping God as a family of faith, all in the same location. As we wait in this time that we could call a Sabbath, we begin to wonder what life will be like for us when lockdown ends. And I don't know, but I do wonder if we can take this time to think carefully about what we do and what we will do differently. We have an opportunity here to change things from the way they have always been, to try new things, to reach out in new ways. When I asked my children earlier about what they had missed during lockdown, and as we heard, most of it was about people, about family and grandparents and friends, and they want to keep doing some of the things that we started doing together in lockdown, like baking. Maybe as a church, we too need to think about what we miss, and also start to use our imagination to see how it could be. To think about what we should keep doing and what we should give up. We can ask the questions prayerfully and listen carefully to God and to each other as we explore.